The number one thing to focus on for your Bitcoin deferred trust transaction, part 3, we're talking about all things execute your DST plan and close the transaction. Hey, I'm Brett Swarts, founder of Capital Gains Tax Solutions, where we help you escape feeling trapped by capital gains tax when selling your highly appreciated cryptocurrency, business, or real estate. Save a failed 1031 exchange so you can create and preserve more wealth, start your next business, invest in the next real estate deal, or just live passively on a cash flow asset such as the Deferred Sales Trust. Hey, I'm excited to dive into this series, our third part of our series. By the way, if you haven't seen our first 2 videos, I want you to go back right now and start at square one, which was strategy and motivation for selling your Bitcoin. And it's all about making sure you have clarity on why it is that you're wanting to sell your cryptocurrency, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your whatever coin that you have. What does that enable you to do? If you can get some diversification, some liquidity, and some time to invest in some other investments. And that's all about number one, part 1. Part 2, a video was all about the DST team. Like who am I, Brett Swarts, right? And my role as the trustee, the DST tax attorney, as well as the financial advisor, and also working alongside your team. So make sure you dive into that to really make sure you understand each of the key players in the transaction. And then part 3 is right now executing the DST plan and close the transaction. So now this is all about all of the planning we've done, all of the preparation. We want to execute that. And really the first step to be able to executing that is opening up an exchange account with the Deferred Sales Trust that has just been opened up. And the key here is the Deferred Sales Trust is unique. It gets a unique EIN, and then we can go directly into an exchange account like a Kraken, and we can open up a new account in that name with that EIN. And from there, it's all about just the timing and exit. Hopefully in part 1 of your strategy and motivation, you've also set an exit price or a target price, right, to equate to a certain dollar volume or dollar amount. And as an example, I had a couple clients close. One was Ethereum, one was Bitcoin, one was a little bit of both, but they each had an exact, clear focus of a number that they wanted to achieve, right, dollar-wise, for what the coin was worth, and so the coin had to get to a certain number. For one of them in Ethereum, 3,000 was the number. For the Bitcoin client, 54,000 was the number, and then they sold just a portion of that, but that enabled them to get the number they were looking for. So we want to set those target prices, and we want to make sure that it's all properly done online, right, with the exchange accounts, okay? And so then once that's done, then it's all just about transferring instead of selling, okay? I want you to think transfer, not sell, right? If you have, let's say, some Ethereum, some Bitcoin, and you don't want to sell it to USD, that'd be taxable. But if you transfer it to the trust, it's in a tax deferral state. This is the whole thing with the Deferred Sales Trust. And remember, you're becoming the lender. You're transferring to this new entity in exchange for a promise of the entity to pay you back over time. It is known as a seller carryback. And again, you can learn more about that in a few of my other videos in the DST Made Simple series as well. And so it's going to be a transfer, and it's going to be in real time. Typically, it's going to screen share with myself and or my team, where we're watching and we're setting up, where we're making sure that first everything's connected properly, and we're sending small amounts just to make sure everything is flowing correctly and the security is all intact. And then second, we're sending larger amounts. And then once they're there, into the Kraken account, and for example, or Coinbase or Binance, it could be a number of places. At that point, then the funds are now in the exchange account. They're going to sell to USD, and that's where the trust will then move it to a bank account. So that's kind of the execution of the plan, right? But we're all working together as a team to achieve that. And then from there, it's and by the way, you might have a deal where it's not listed. The coin's not listed. And that scenario, you might need to form an LLC and transfer it to the LLC, and we'll work with you on that process as well. It's a little few extra steps, but that's something that we would work through with you. And by the way, all this is no cost, no obligation until you actually close the deal, right? So until the coin actually transfers and the deal closes, you haven't paid anything to us for video step 1, video step 2, and all the strategy and all the planning. It's not until you actually sell. And because for some of our crypto clients, the values are high and then the values are low, right? And their target price is not there. So we want to take all that pressure off of you to know that when we go to execute this plan, you're not having to prepay for the planning. You're only paying for the delivery of the asset being transferred and the equity being deferred. So that is just a little, I want to let you know to kind of keep you at ease there on what does all this stuff cost, which some people really, you should know about, but a lot of people don't realize it's nothing prepaid. It's only paid at closing. Okay. So that's it. So then you exit and we transfer to the bank and then we're closed. And at that point as well, you'll have a promissory note, right? Set to pay you back over time. The amount plus a rate of return, typically 8%. Could be 6, could be 5, could be 7, depending on your risk tolerance. And we'd work with the financial advisor to establish that. And then all of the investments need to have your approval. And you work with me, the trustee, to execute on the business plan, which is all about step 4, which is how and where can the funds be invested, which is in the next video. That's where we're talking about that and kind of the ongoing maintenance of the trust. What does it look like? So look for that video to come here shortly as well. If this helped you at all, would you please rate, review, subscribe? Would you please share it with somebody who might be selling some highly appreciated Bitcoin, Ethereum, other coins, other cryptocurrencies, and they're looking for a way to defer tax? Remember, 1 million net proceed and $1 million gain is our minimum. Unless you have 2 or more assets that are equal that, then we can help you out. So go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com if you want to take action right now and schedule your one-on-one consultation with myself or one of my team members. And to learn more about the Deferred Sales Trust, to download our free ebook. I also want to invite you personally to our mastermind. It's a Deferred Sales Trust mastermind that happens every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, where we have clients on. We have CPAs, financial advisors. We have folks just like yourself who are learning about the Deferred Sales Trust for the first time and are asking, it's kind of like Deferred Sales Trust University, asking questions. And we're all together for about 30 minutes once a week, covering typically the deal close story of the week, covering frequently asked questions, and then helping you make all things simple with trading your cryptocurrency and deferring the capital gains tax. So again, it's every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can register right now by going to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. It's capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. Hey, so appreciate you watching this video. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening to this on our podcast, thank you also for listening on Spotify and iTunes. Please also share again with somebody who could help out. Thanks, everybody. Talk